Hi everybody, I'm Dominic from askmediy.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace a exhaust fan in your bathroom. Now this one we have here, I just took the cover off of it. I wanted to see because it makes a lot of noise. And if you look at this one, it's round, right? The round ones were popular, or more popular, back in the 80s, early 80s I think it was. Now you find a lot of square, maybe even rectangle ones. And that's why I decided to make this video, because it's a little bit of a challenge, because what we don't have in this one here, we don't have access to the floor above, right? So the vent line that's existing is going out the side of the house. So to replace that would be like, woo, a little bit more, or a lot more involved, okay? So I'm going to show you, now just real quick, and the reason why I removed the cover here, because it's loud. Now a lot of times, because they're loud, because the fan is on bounce, because of dirt and all that dust that really builds up on it. So if you do have that problem, try cleaning it. You know, I mean, it's a couple minutes and you make a big mess, but you may be able to fix the problem. If not, then we have to get involved and do what we're going to do here is replace this one here. Like I said, it's round. We have a nice, really nice rectangle one that's going to fit in there. And that's when it becomes more challenging, because what we don't want to do is make another hole and then have to patch that and paint it and all that. Take a listen to this. Oh yeah. That's what we want to eliminate. Okay, so let's start pulling this one out and show you how we're going to do it. All right, now in our particular fan, I can see that I have 4 screws here. So I'm going to start taking these out and see where we go. But before I forget to tell you, make sure you disconnect your power. You don't want, want to start getting shocked, because I really don't know what's going to happen when I take these screws out. This can very well just drop right on me, and the wires could be all frayed and things like that. All right, so take this out. Now, one important thing which we'll notice when we take the fan out is which way our ceiling joists are running, right? Ooh, hey, look, look at that. Okay, take the last one out. See what we got. Now this, and we got a little water coming down. Or a lot of water. Okay, that's not good. Okay, and basically this thing wants to fall right out on me. Look at all that water coming out. Yeah, no wonder why it was no good. So that's going to be another issue that we're going to have to address. But for now, let's get this fan out of here. All right, well, here's one thing I wanted to touch on. We have all our whites, which are neutral, and we have our feed coming in, which is our black wire. And we only have one black wire. And that's simply because on our switches here, we only have one switch that controls both the light and the fan in this case. Now, you may just have one that just has a fan and not a light. Well, we have both in this case, and the one I'm putting in also has both. So at this point, you're like, well, if you have the same thing, you would really like 2 switches. Well, if you can get access to your switch, the wire from your switch all the way here to this one, it'd be a great time to change it out to a 14 or a 12-3 wire, which gives you that extra power wire, which would be for the fan or the light, either one. In my case, I have a switch here which controls our light over our vanity, and we have just the one that controls both. And honestly, I don't feel like getting involved in it, and I really do not have easy access to these walls and stuff, so I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to bring the wire and I'm going to tie it both to both. Like if you see here, we have a red wire which is going to our light, and another black wire which is going to our fan, and of course the power in wire right there. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and disconnect that, and then we'll start putting the new one in. Okay, so now here we have our new fan that's going to be going in. Okay, now if you look, it has a flange that goes all the way around. Okay, see the flange here? Okay, so what we're really concerned about in this particular one is how much space do we really need? All right, well, 10 and a quarter measurement, so we're going to go 10 and a half. Go this way. We have, let's measure, so we want Looking for any obstacles. 10.5 as well, okay? 10.5, you see we have our discharge for our vent line, and we have our electrical box here. Okay, so when we cut our hole, it's obviously gonna go up like this, and this will hit in between the sheetrock. So now, once we put it up in the ceiling, we should have sheetrock all around here. And hopefully, we'll have some nailers, which are gonna be real important. Now, you do have, the flange that came here, we can move out and adjust and do some stuff here. But it's not always that easy. So let's get up in the ceiling. And the first thing we wanna do is favor one side or another of a ceiling joist that will accompany one or two of these flanges, at least two, really. So let's get up there and make some marks. Okay, so here we are back at our hole. Now, we need a 10.5, right? Now, I have 10.5 there, and I have 10.5 here. Okay, well, it makes things a little bit difficult because we don't have the prettiest edges around here, as you can see. But what I do have, right here, I have my ceiling joists running from the back of the house to the front of the house. And then I have nailers on all three sides. Okay, so lucky for me. So what we're gonna need though, you're gonna need a square. Okay, so what we're gonna do, because we wanna cut this hole pretty damn square to those measurements. So I line it up even with my existing ceiling joist there, and I'm going to go ahead and use it now. Knowing that, like I said, I measured what I needed 10.5, so I don't need to make any measurement marks, but I do want to hold pretty damn close to that. It's a lot easier adding some to it than taking away some of it than adding to it, because adding to it, as you know, would really involve doing some sheetrock work and blah, 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 okay? And again, a square, because we're just gonna hold square on every line that we're doing. So even if it's not square to the room, it'll be square up in here. Okay, so now we have our little cutouts here that we're gonna have to cut out pretty carefully, because some of the sheetrock up on top here was abused before. So as long as we're careful, we'll be good, and we don't need to worry about that. Okay, but our ceiling joist here, a nailer here, which is great, but we have two nailers here. You see this one, it looks just flopping there. It's got a little nail there, so we're gonna have to pull out, and another one here, okay. What we can do, we can leave this one and this one, but this one's gonna have to come out. So you remember, we need that, where the exhaust and the electric goes, all right, we need that 1/2-inch sheetrock to fit right in there. So we're gonna have to pull this out. Okay, all right, I was able to pull that out. It wasn't in there very good. You can see a little nail here. Yeah, no, it's a screw actually. Okay, let's start cutting this out and see how we're gonna fit. Okay, check this out. Now our actual box for our fan, being that it had height to it and it wasn't round like the old one, when you're going in like this, you need more room, and we didn't want to do that. We wanted to fit nice and snug up there. Not crazy snug, but we didn't want any big gaps in there. Fortunately for the fan that I'm installing, this whole piece actually comes off, which allows for our duct work and our electrical work all in one piece. So we'll be able to push that up in there and then put our box up in there, then reach in and grab this and just snap it in place. So while doing so, we're going to be doing the electric down here, which is really nice as well. Pretending that you have that length of vent and wire like I do. But now, okay, check this out. Now, first, let's just point this out. The fan that I'm using is a quality fan. I'm not into getting a $69 fan or cheaper even and putting it in there. I want something that's gonna work for years and it's gonna be quiet. That is what I want. you know, like I said earlier, I only have one power wire coming up here. So, you know, only one supply, one switch. Fortunately for this, now if you look at this, I have actually 3 power supplies. One, you know, would be for the fan. One, you know, would be for the light. We already covered that. But check this other one out. How cool is this? This is for a night light. So in this case, you would actually install 3 switches for this on your wall in your bathroom. The other one is for a night light. How cool is that? It's just this like little Christmas tree light, which just gives you enough light to see what you're doing if you get up in the middle of the night and you have to use the bathroom there, which is pretty cool. I like that a lot. Unfortunately, in this house, this installation, I'm not going to be able to use it, so not going to need that. So, okay, so now we have our neutrals, which is our white wires, okay? So basically, we just want to tie those together and the 2 black wires because, again, I only have one supply giving power to both. So meaning, so when I turn that switch on, both the fan and the light is going to come on. Now, I mean, I know, you know, a lot of you, myself included, I don't want to hear the fan all the time. And again, that's why I picked a quality fan to go in. But I also have another light in the bathroom. So, you know, it's not like I really, really need to separate it, you know, pretty much. Okay, so this is what we got. We have our 2 blacks, fan and light, and our 2 neutrals from the fan and the light. They're tied together, and we're simply going to connect it to our black that's coming from the light switch and our white. And of course, we're going to ground them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this together, and then we're going to sneak that up in there and put the rest of the fan together. Wait, one more thing. Your connections on your existing wire that you're using, well, it's been used before, maybe once or twice even, and it gets, you know, all twisted up. What I recommend, if you have the room, and of course in our case I do, is cut them and strip the wire, make a nice clean straight connection. You don't want to be making a connection on a wire that's been twisted around a few times. It's not a good idea. Okay, so again, in this particular fan, we have our piece that I was able to remove. I got it stuck in there, wedged under the sheetrock in between there. Then we got our shroud here. Oh, I'm sorry, I might not even clear this up with you. To remove that, I had to remove the fan on here, which is a matter of 3 screws. Big deal, okay? So I'm gonna line that up, and hopefully this will go right in there. I will click this in, ba-boom. Nice and snug fit. Now we're gonna put our screws in it, and then we could start putting this thing together. Okay, let me go screw this in and see you in a few minutes. All right, check this out. Now that we have everything together up here, it's looking pretty good. Now I had to put some of these screws on an angle to make sure I got that wood there. So when you put them on an angle, it sticks out a little bit, and that really shouldn't be a factor, but we'll find out. I want to show you this. Now, every fan is going to be a little bit different. This one, I tell you, I mean, it's just quality. Spin the fan, and it's just no noise, stays straight. It's 3 screws, and this whole thing, kapoof, comes right out. Which is good because then you can take it out every so often and clean it so you don't run into that problem like I did. Well, everything's together. Our electrical is connected. I'm going to turn the switch on and make sure that everything's good. Look at that. Wow. I mean, here's my microphone. So how loud is that really? I mean, I'm louder than it. It's nice. I don't see any wobbling, so it's nicely bounced. I feel the exhaust going, so I know it's working. You know, working meaning that our vent line is not kinked somewhere where I might have not been able to see it. Great. Okay, so let's put the rest of this together. Well, here we go to put our lights in. Now I gotta tell you, excuse me, being that this is a higher quality of a light fan combo, it actually comes with 2 nice fluorescent lights, and they're somewhat different than your regular ones and how they go in as well. It's just simply, if you're able to see in there, and the end of the light. It's just going to go in there and just going to give it a little turn, and it snaps in. And then we're going to put the rest of this assembly together. I mean, it's a little bit different, a little bit more of a pain, honestly. Go backwards there. But honestly, they last a lot longer, so you don't need to be worrying about that. So we're just going to just put this assembly together. I'm not going to show you completely how it goes together, because of course, not all of them are the same, right? So I mean, if you get a different fan, just a little different. So let me just go ahead and do this, and we'll put the rest of it together. Okay, we have our cover here. We got it plugged in up here. Now I did notice that this cover is larger, a decent amount larger than our actual metal shroud up here, our housing, which is really good. Okay, so now we have our spring clamps, these things here. No screws to mess with or anything like that, really cool. So we're just gonna push this shit out where it goes in those little pockets on this particular fan. Put them in there, and I can feel the pressure, and just boom, and then it just sucks itself right up. Look at that, completely covered. Sheetrock work, none. Awesome. All right, now let's turn this puppy on and see what we got. Hey, cool. I got a fan, so any of the smells of, bathroom smells. Do I need to explain what smells? And the exhaust, the steam and everything from your shower, all good with the light, and it's out. Most importantly, this fan, it's quiet. Quiet, okay, but it's quiet and it's powerful. That's what we want, right? And it's got the light and a night light option if you ran the extra wire with the extra switch, or if you already have it or not. Anyway, you know what? Let me go show you what fan it is, so people don't have to ask me, so hey, what fan, what fan? I'm gonna show you what fan it was and where I got it from. Okay, here's the fan that I was installing, okay? It is the Panasonic FV-10VSL3E ventilation fan. It's a quality fan, and it comes with the light bulbs. Even tells you it comes with the light bulbs. All right, so this way you don't have to ask me. Okay, but here's the bigger thing. I was given this fan by supplyhouse.com. I mean, obviously you've seen that I needed to replace mine. So, I mean, I did have to go buy one. But supplyhouse.com gave me this fan to, help introduce them to the market. So supplyhouse.com, check out their website. They got some really cool stuff. But anyway, that's how you install or replace a bathroom fan. Oh, two more things. Your ventilation line, all right? If you pull it out and it looks like crap, well, chances are it is, so pull it out and replace it no matter how you have to do it. In our case, as you've seen, when I pulled that fan down, a bunch of water came out. Whoa, okay, well, we don't have a leaky roof here, so obviously it's coming from the vent. I went outside and I checked it. That vent for this house is actually on the roof. Not my favorite place to put a bathroom vent like that. And actually the roof needs to be replaced at some point relatively soon. So when I do that, I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to put that vent down in the soffit, under the soffit. So the weather's, with the heavy rain, is not that much of a factor. Okay, anyway, I'm Dominic. Thanks for watching.